Yo, what's up guys? Before I get into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and leave a like on today's video. It helps me out a lot and it only takes a second. You know, before last night's game versus the Magic, some huge news came out about Lonzo Ball, and I'm going to get into that, but let me talk about last night's game first, because last night's game was very impressive versus the Magic. The Bulls hold their first opponent of the season under 100 points. Zach LaVine was playing amazing. He had 39 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. That man better be an all-star this season. I honestly believe he deserves it over Bradley Beal. You know, I don't care if Bradley Beal's averaging like 40 or whatever points he's averaging a game. You know, they've done this to Zach LaVine. He's been putting up great numbers, especially last season, and the Bulls weren't winning games, and he was not an all-star. I would not vote for Bradley Beal just because that team has a terrible record, and they have a solid roster. They really do. I just don't believe Bradley Beal should be an all-star over Zach LaVine at least. I'd be fine if Bradley Beal is one with Zach, but not over Zach. And more on last night's game. Denzel Valentine got his first start of the season, I believe. He had 20 points. He played amazing. You know, it looked like Denzel of old. It looked like how he was playing back in his Michigan State days, just shooting, you know, moving around, making good passes, just playing solid defense. Just a very high IQ player that I really hope the Bulls bring back this offseason, because he is starting to come into form, you know, after being in Jim Boylan's doghouse all last season. And talking about the last game, even though the Bulls did split this series versus the Magic, Patrick Williams has finally been playing like the number 4th overall pick. You know, his last game, he had 20 points against the Magic. I'm pretty sure after that game, he was the Chicago Bulls' youngest player to put up 20-plus points in a game. And then in last night's game, he had 16 points and 10 rebounds, his first double-double. So he's really starting to come into form. You know, Tomas Satoransky has really helped this team since he came back with the offense. Last night, he had 9 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. And I think people tend to forget this. The Bulls have been playing shorthanded, you know, without Wendell. Now Lauri's hurt, and Otto, you know, his back problem, who knows with that. And they have been very impressive. They had a great bounce-back win last night, and the Bulls played great defense last night, shorthanded. So the Bulls were also up by 30 for most of the game. It's just good to see. The Bulls just need to be consistent. You know, they have this firepower to put up points and just blow out teams. They just need to improve on their defense and be more consistent. Now let's jump right into the huge rumor that came out yesterday before the game. But yeah, before I get into that, definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about last night's game. And the big rumor that came out yesterday before the game was if the New Orleans Pelicans were to trade Lonzo Ball and his agent would prefer it to be to the Chicago Bulls. You know, this is huge news. The Bulls have been linked and just surrounded with rumors for Lonzo for the past couple weeks. And honestly, since he's got drafted into the league, there's always been a lot of rumors about the Bulls being interested in him. And it just makes too much sense. You know, I made, I believe, 2 past videos about Lonzo. Definitely go give those videos a watch if you guys missed them. But it is really exciting to hear that Lonzo Ball pretty much wants the Chicago Bulls to trade for him. I know the Bulls fan base are split 50-50 if they want Lonzo Ball on this roster or not. I still see a bunch of Bulls fans saying, you know, they don't want him because of his dad. And I understand that to a point, but LaVar has really been quiet as of recently. And LaMelo's been balling as well. And these Ball brothers have been looking pretty solid, especially late. I mean, I saw LaMelo just put up a career-high 34 the other night. And Lonzo's been playing his best basketball of the season right now, so who knows if the Pelicans would still want to trade him as the trade deadline comes up. I say they do just because he really doesn't fit in with what the Pelicans are doing, and I feel like the Bulls and him would be a perfect match. You know I've said that many times, but the Bulls are looking for a true lead playmaking point guard, and Lonzo is everything of that, and his defense, I'd say, is much better than Coby White as well, and he'd just help out the Bulls. I'm not sure who the trade would be, but there was an article that I'm going to jump into saying that, you know, of course, Lonzo and his agent want to be traded to the Chicago Bulls pretty much if the Pelicans, of course, decide to trade him. And there is some Bulls names that would be like in a potential trade to the Pelicans, and it does surprise me that Lauri Markkanen was not included. You know, I made past videos saying that if the Bulls are like really this high in Lonzo and they want him, the Bulls are most likely going to have to trade Lauri Markkanen, like a flip-flop between Markkanen and Lonzo to the Pelicans, just because I believe the Pelicans want shooting. And that's the number one reason why they're trading Lonzo, is because he's not the best shooter, even though his shooting percentages aren't that bad from deep. I saw on Twitter that he's almost shooting just as well as Lauri Markkanen is, and Markkanen is like supposed to be like a quote-unquote three-point specialist. So Lonzo isn't that bad of a shooter. Sure, his jumper is a bit goofy, but he's not that bad. And now the question is, what is Lonzo Ball's value? I saw the Pelicans were like really wanting like a decent haul in return for that, but I just don't see that happening. You know, he has been playing better as of recently, but at the same time, he's still very inconsistent. He's still young, and that jumper still scares a lot of NBA teams, I'm sure. And I did see that the Pelicans are looking to upgrade like for a wing. Does that mean like Otto Porter Jr., who makes $28.5 million, would be, I mean, of course it would be difficult to match salaries with. Who knows if the Pelicans even want him? You know, he is on an expiring contract. If the Pelicans are looking to clear like cap space, that's a feature. And I also saw the Pelicans would have to like give up multiple pieces for Porter because Lonzo's not making that much money. You know, not only for Otto Porter Jr.'s talent, but his contract as well. So maybe it's more in the like the trade line of Thaddeus Young. You know, Thaddeus Young has been playing great basketball for the Bulls as of recently. I'd honestly say he's Zach LaVine's best teammate since he's been in Chicago. Zach LaVine has had no help. The Bulls really need to start like making trades, or hopefully this offseason sign some free agents to help out Zach LaVine. He just can't keep carrying this Bulls team by himself. You know, the only problem with Thaddeus Young is he's more of a power forward in today's game, and given that the Pelicans have both Zion Williamson and Steven Adams, that doesn't make much sense either. But it is definitely interesting if they want a veteran to help out their playoff chances or whatever. You know, Thaddeus Young hasn't played any small forward this season for the Bulls, but he definitely can, even though I wouldn't play him at small forward if I was a head coach. You know, league sources has said that Young has been shopped in the offseason, so this makes sense, and Young would give the Pelicans a veteran defender, and of course it would help out their defense and their backup, you know, power forward position. They could possibly play him at the 3 if needed. I've also seen that Garrett Temple and Denzel Valentine's name would possibly be like thrown into the potential package or trade package, and Chandler Hutchison. You know, the Pelicans really just want wing help, and I believe Denzel or Hutchison or even Otto, if they want that contract for like half a season, would help them out. It really just depends what the Bulls and Pelicans can, like, if they can come to an agreement. If the Bulls do trade for Lonzo, I still expect it to be Markkanen for Lonzo, even though in this article they have reported that the Pelicans are kind of interested in Otto, Thaddeus, or Hutchison, or Denzel. You know, if the Pelicans wanted any of those 4 players for Lonzo Ball and like maybe a future like first rounder or something like that, I'd do that trade in a heartbeat. Lonzo has way more potential and way more talent. He'd fit in right with the Bulls, help our offense, help our defense. He just fit in well with us. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about the Bulls playing the Magic last night, and also about the Bulls possibly trading for Lonzo Ball. You know, these rumors have been going on for days now. I hope this is the last video I have to make, you know, unless we do trade for him about Lonzo. But either way, like I said, if the Bulls or the Pelicans want any of these four players for Lonzo Ball, I'd do that trade in a heartbeat. He would instantly help out our roster and just help out our team. Definitely leave any comments or questions below today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.